Metanomics is brought to you by Remedy Communications and Doosan Writers Metaverse.
So let's shift things a little bit to other applications or specific partnerships that you're talking about. The Smithsonian partnership looks really interesting that we got a sense of from the teaser video. Are you seeing, how are you seeing the potential breakdown of your target audience? Is it consumers, education, enterprise, government? What do you figure the kind of initial percentages will be? Do you see schools coming in and using the platform and that sort of thing?
We look at a couple of different groups. There are educators. It's a huge passion. I've made educational video games. There are a lot of people here who are deeply invested in education. One of the great things about Blue Mars is that if something is happening in the world, you can track it and report on it in real time. So things like adaptive assessments, having NPCs change their behavior based on how people are learning in the world. There's some very, very cool experiments going on trying to do simulations and first responder training using Blue Mars. So education, we think, will be a big part of Blue Mars. It's not the right solution for everyone, but it certainly is for some. Another big area we see are digital entrepreneurs, people who are interested in expressing themselves through content, be it clothing or animations, fashions, that sort of thing. The standard, things that people like to do as far as make friends and play games and customize their avatars will all be applications of Blue Mars. Beyond that, we look towards corporations to create, both training applications and branding experiences, but we think that'll come later when, the user base is a bit larger. Right now, we just have a couple hundred people who are in Blue Mars, and we'll be expanding our beta releases throughout this summer.
Wonderful. So that the video we showed before about the partnership with the Smithsonian, and I think it was NASA, and a big, physical world exhibit that's happening. Tell us a little bit about that, or tell us a little bit about some of the partners that you're working with. What kind of environments are they building, and why did they choose Blue Mars over, say, building a title for Sony Home or building in Second Life or doing a browser-based environment?
Well, I can speak specifically to VSE. We know them very well, and they've come out to discuss some of the partnerships that they've made. I can't speak directly for the conversations that they had with Smithsonian and National Geographic, but based on my conversations with VSE, National Geographic and Smithsonian were looking for a level of interactivity and a level of fidelity and the ability to scale that they weren't confident that other platforms could provide them. I mean, the National Geographic website gets an unbelievable number of hits, and they're going to be promoting their virtual world exhibit through their website, so they needed to know that if 1,000 people showed up at once to look at the exhibit, that they weren't going to have any issues, and that's one of Blue Mars' strengths. In addition, it just looks great, and it allows for interactivity that's comparable with a high-end video game. So we use Lua-driven scripting in Blue Mars, and you can do a really, really impressive level of interactivity in the virtual world.